Hi guys, welcome back. So all the squads are out for the Six Nations, and I've gone through in previous videos who I'd pick for England, Ireland, Scotland and Wales. And now I'm getting into the prediction time because I'm setting up my FanZoo Guinness Pint Predictor League. And I'm just going to take you through my crazy thought process of how I'm going to predict these games. And I'm sure over the next couple of weeks in the lead up, I might tweak them a bit, but I thought I'd take you along for the ride here because I'm trying to defend my honour here. I was third in the last league out of 270. I'm going to try and get close to the top 10. That is my target. So I'm going to go through how I'm going to set it up, and I'd really invite you guys to join me. Download FanZoo, put in the code ANALYST to join my league. I'll just put on the side there the laws, the rules for this game. They've made it a little bit easier actually. If you get a perfect prediction, yeah, you win a pint there and then. Obviously this is over 18s, drink responsibly, all of that good stuff. But if you get a great call, as they say, it's the winning team within 9 points, which is definitely doable. That's a weekday pint. And even if you get the winning team and you're outside of that 9 points, you still win a pint for a friend. And there's the quiz midweek, so you're probably going to win every week, I reckon, if you get involved. Plus, you play against me and your friends, so get involved. FanZoo app, code ANALYST. Want to get as many of you in there as possible. Should be great, and I'll share how well or badly I do throughout the Six Nations. So anyway, let's get into it. How am I going to come up with my predictions? So looking at that first game, Wales versus Ireland, I'm thinking that Ireland, they're world's number one. They've got great form from 2022. They're kind of just fiddling around seeing who's going to back up certain players. There's only one uncapped player in the squad, and if Henshaw was fit, then Osborne might not have been in. So they pretty much know who their first choice is, and it's kind of just a bit of a bun fight for who's underneath maybe. And I think at this stage, they are the big favourites if it was a neutral venue, but of course it's not. In Wales's favour, they're at home. Now, the crowd are going to take the roof off, if the roof is on, that is. Plus, the coaching legend for Wales, Warren Gatland, is back. You might get that new coach bounce. That's something to take in mind. Now, we don't know what style of play Wales are going to go for. They won't have as much time as Ireland to put their systems in place. Indeed, Ireland's systems are super slick, very well embedded in the team, so that is something to bear in mind as well. So the other thing I think about is possible matchups, who's got the edge in certain positions of the pitch. So on the side are potentially some teams we may see, obviously, please argue with me there, but that's just going around in my head. These are the sorts of players we may see in the front five. On paper, I think it looks like advantage Ireland with their starting five there, especially considering you've got Kelleher or Sheehan there in the front row. That's really good. Two amazing young hookers. Wales relying on the older Ken Owens, maybe not so much backup there as well. So I'm thinking in the front row, edge to Ireland. Back row, maybe it's Morgan, typical Rafael and Faletau versus Omani, Van der Fleer and Doris. I think it's a closer matchup there, but you've got the World Player of the Year, Van der Fleer. You've got Doris, who I think is going to be probably the best number 8 of the tournament. So I think that edges Ireland the advantage there in my mind. Into the halfbacks, and if these are indeed the halfbacks, they're both very experienced halfbacks, been playing together a lot, so really not too much to choose between them. You'd probably just say Ireland have been a bit slicker than Wales, so you'd probably edge it to Ireland on the systems that they execute, but as individual players, I'd say it's pretty close actually in my mind. Now into the centres, and I think this is the area I'm most excited to see the match-up in. Maybe it's Hawkins or Grady we'll see alongside North. That'd be exciting. It could be Tompkins, of course, but Hawkins and Grady are big guys. They could have the size advantage over Ireland, depending on who Ireland play. Maybe they'll play McCloskey, Aki to add some size there. Ringrose is one of the best 13s around, so maybe on paper again, I'd edge it to Ireland, but I'm actually probably more excited to see Wales for those youngsters. Now, back three-wise, I'm actually not sure who Ireland are going to field alongside Keenan. I'm thinking maybe Lowe and Hansen. Wales potentially could have the experience and maybe a little bit of size on their side, but I don't know how they're going to go there. Lewis Rees-Zammit isn't there, so they're down on speed a little bit, so I think I'd call that a little bit even, to be honest. My prediction, though, still overriding, the form of Ireland is so good. World number ones. They've been playing so well. Wales an unknown, so I'm kind of going to go for Ireland. And you can see there on the Pint Predictor that most people are going for Ireland, but Wales could absolutely, put a surprise in there. But I'm going Ireland by 7 points. Tell me what you'd go for. On to England versus Scotland, and this is a really interesting one because tell me if my heart's ruling my head here a little bit, but let's go through it. Scotland, they know they've got a great opportunity. They've had the better of England in previous encounters as well. They've got a more established game plan, a more established team. Now, Finn Russell, if they actually play him on fire, could be exciting. I mean, England, they've got a good new coaching ticket under Borthwick, Sinfield's defence, but they will not have had much time to get their systems in place. And a lot for England hinges on some new players, I think, making the step up. Let's have a look at the front rows I expect. So I'm thinking it's something like this, but it could change, of course. Maybe the Gray brothers together, that'll be interesting. A lot hinges on Cole in the scrum. Line-out wise, maybe we'll see Richie Gray trying to make a mess of England's brand new line-out system. Genge, I think, is the player to watch there. He's been on fire. Really excited to see him play. If Chesham makes a start, no, we're impressed with him for Leicester, but can he make that step up? So in my mind, I call those front fives equal or even. Let me know if you disagree. Back rows, I don't quite know what England are going to go for, but I'm guessing something like that. Probably Richie Watson, Matt Fagerson, something like that for Scotland. In this case, England would have the size advantage. Scotland maybe the speed advantage. It's England's new look back row, a lot of unknowns. So maybe you'd edge it towards Scotland there. But no, the potential, again, I think is with England to be very good as well. So I just don't really know there. Pass on that one. At half-backs, I think straight away I'm thinking Scotland here. It's going to be an established pairing if it's Price and Russell. But many of you are saying that the form player, George Horn, should start at 9. So obviously not as established, but a form player. For England, it's a coin toss for who starts at 9. So that kind of puts me on edge a little bit. Farrell's been on good form for Saracens at 10, but he simply hasn't played for England there a lot. So I think I give the edge to Scotland. In the centres, if England play Kelly, which I think they will, again, it's a bit of an unknown, but no, he's a good player. Tuipulotu and Harris, a more established pairing, although many say that Harris actually blunts Scotland's attack, although he is very good in defence. So I think I'd probably edge it towards Scotland here because they're more known entities. Back three, if Darcy Graham was in the Scottish back three, I think I'd straight away give it to Scotland. But I think this is a pretty even contest now, considering maybe it's going to be like a Maitland on one wing, who's a good solid player, but maybe not setting the world alight. Who are England going to play on their wings? I'm not sure. I hope one of them is Ollie Hassel-Collins, who I think is a real prospect for sure. So overall, I'm thinking it's kind of even. And if it's even in my head, I'm kind of going to go with the home side. Maybe as an England fan, I am a bit biased. Let me know if you think I am. But I'm saying England to edge it by 3 points. You can see on the predictor, most people are saying England. I think that's a bit over-optimistic. But let's see. Tell me what you think. And for Italy versus France, these aren't players I know as well as the others, so do inform me on the players to watch in these teams. For France, I think they're missing 2 big players in Woki and Dante, but then for Italy, they're missing 2 big players as well in Garbisi and Ioane. And if that evens out, then I would say that France should take it. They should be far too powerful for Italy, and this is France's year, their home World Cup year. They should be absolutely ravenous, so I'm saying a big win for France by 14 points. So that's how I'm setting up my Guinness Pint predictor. Let me know who you put in your predictor. Join Fanzu App Analyst. Get involved. Let's see who can take the title this time. I'm aiming for top 10. Let's see if I can stay there. I'll keep you updated. Anyway, all the comments below, and I'll catch you next time.